Love is kind. It's fun and it's boring. It's patient and restless. It's happy and it's trying. These are some of the characteristics that describe the foundation of every love story. And like every love story, there's two sides. But in order to understand the dynamics of this love, we have to go all the way back to how it began.
I was invited to a house party from a girlfriend of mine, so I decided to go. And she said it was a theme party, so you had to dress up in Christmas theme, which I did. So I dressed up as Mrs. Claus.
I think there was only two people dressed up in the whole party. She was one of the two.
He walked in, and I was like, okay, like, who's this guy? And I thought he was attractive.
She came in and she was dressed up like Mrs. Claus, and I thought that was cool. She looked real nice.
I decided to post up on the kitchen counter, so I can be in his way, so he would have to say something to me like "excuse me" or. So I did that, and he had ice in his hand, and he walked up.
In the kitchen, I think I walked past her making ice stuff, so she was bent all over, like spread out completely over the kitchen counter, just sprawled. Right.
And I said, "Oh, am I in your way?" He said, "No." And he just blew right past me and continued to put the ice in the bucket.
And sat there. I think I walked past her a couple hundred times. Didn't really pay it in mind.
So I was a little salty. So I was like, okay, maybe I'm not his type. So I kindly sat down and continued on my conversations with other people.
You know, I saw what she was doing, but I had a party at 12, so.
Then he left out the room. I think he went out to get dressed. And when he came back, he started making something called Nuke Juice, some type of alcoholic beverage that fraternity makes. So while he's making it in the kitchen, he looks at me and he asks me,
"Now, did I tell you that you look nice tonight?" And she was like, "No, you didn't." But then that's it. I mean, she pretty much followed me around the damn party for the rest of the damn night.
He was drawn to me as well. I don't want you to think it's one-sided. No, he was drawn to me.
One time I was making drinks, got a couple people drinks, so I'm walking, hold the drinks, and I stopped, turned around, she bumped right into her. She was right here, you know, once a night. You know, like right there. Like if I turn.
I asked him, what did he want in a female? And he said, a pyramid. And I'm like, what is that? And he said, well, one beauty will get you in the door.
I need them to look good to what I feel like is attractive. Doesn't mean they have to look a certain way, look like a certain person. Just somewhere where she can put on a certain pair of jeans and not go crazy, or she can put on a certain dress and that could be my favorite dress. You know, someone who knows how to do that, who knows how to bring that out of me.
2 is loyalty.
They also have to be supportive, you know, have my back. Somebody who's always gonna be down for me, you know, and put me first. You know, at least for me to feel like they put me first. You know what I mean?
3 is someone that's ambitious.
And the third point has to be somebody who has some type of initiative for themselves or ambition. You know, if they're a cashier, you know, aspire to be, you know, head cashier. You know, if they, you know, in med school, then they could want to complete med school. You know, if they're in school for whatever, they have an ambition to want to complete it and move on to whatever it is they're doing. And then when they're doing whatever they want to do, to want to be the best at it, or they want to get extra certifications because they want to be more marketable. Whatever the situation is, you know, I need that in that person.
And in my head, I'm like, wow, he just described me.
The proposal almost wasn't a proposal. So, when been paying on this ring, man, for 6 months, 7 months. Maybe, no, longer than that. Probably paying on this ring for about 8 months. Finally got this ring out. So when I got the ring out, I knew it was too big. So I had already set it up to go to Philly with her and her parents. I knew she was going to visit her parents. So I said I was going to go down. So I reached out to her friends. So I told one of her close friends, Nikki, that I was coming up. I was going to propose to her. I need y'all to set it up and get a meeting for. I'm gonna get a restaurant. We're gonna hang out in a boom, y'all. So Nikki's like, okay. I was like, don't tell nobody. You know, it's a secret. And then maybe we can get all her friends around and do a dinner with all her friends, and I can do it in front of her friends and family. Don't tell nobody. Just tell them I'm coming up. First thing Nikki do is call her best friend Danny. First thing she do, I just told her not to tell nobody. So she calls Danny, tells Danny. So now they making all these plans, right? So it's growing. The whole thing is growing. It's getting bigger. So they call her. They call Elise, you know, and then they speak to Elise about it, and everybody's like, I can't tell her mama. They tell her mama. You know, everybody gonna know. So that's the only person they kept a secret from. So all of them know they're trying to set it up. The next thing you know, when Nikki or somebody's talking to Vita one day, they said something to Vita. Vita's like, well, don't you think it'd be funny if AJ proposed to me, you know, during this dinner? So I'm like, oh shit, you know, here we go. So I had to switch it up then. So I told Nikki, I said, well, I'm gonna switch it up now. I'm gonna have to propose to her on a different day because she's expecting it, or at least I think she might be expecting it during the dinner.
We're going to Philadelphia because he's never been, just to go. You know, it's best to go in the summer because it's really cold. So we go in August, and well, I got there a day earlier. I was there a day earlier, a day prior, and then he came in, and the plan was for me to pick him up from the airport, but then my girlfriend Nikki said, you know, she's like, well, I'll have her husband is going to pick him up, Kai, and then she's like, I'll pick you up, and then we'll go to dinner. I'm like, okay, but I got word that my niece Carly, that I don't see her a lot, but when I do come to Philly, it's really fast and quick, and I don't really spend time with her. She's there, but I don't really get a chance to spend time with her. So I was told that, you know, she's like, oh, she never has time for me when she comes, and I felt really bad. So I made it a point. I said, I'm gonna make sure I would spend time with her. So she, you know, I got to make time for her, which I did. So we got manis and petties. And then I found out that it was a One Direction concert that, you know, they love the One Direction. So my best friend was taking her daughter, my goddaughter Ava, and I was like, I wonder if I can get tickets because AJ wasn't coming in till 10 o'clock at night.
I think it was 10 o'clock she was supposed to meet us. She had all day. I showed up on Thursday. Vita got there on Wednesday. So she had all Wednesday and all day Thursday until 10 p.m. when it was time to meet me. So I get there, Cat picked me up from the airport. We get to the restaurant. It's 10 o'clock. Vita ain't nowhere to be found. So I get out the plane. Vita texts me and tells me she's at the concert.
I believe the concert was at 6. I think it started at 6 or 6:30. I think it was 6. So I'm like, okay. And I was like, you know, I'm gonna go ahead and take her to the concert. So that was her first concert, and we had a blast. She had a blast.
She's with these little One Direction kids. So this was 4 years ago. So I think they was like 8 or 9 years old. I don't know how old these little boys were. So she had the concert with these babies.
But then it rained. It rained like this really big downpour, and it happened when I was actually getting her something to eat inside. So all of a sudden we see all these people coming in, and I'm like, what's going on? It was the rain. So it rained for like a good hour and a half, and then it stopped. So everybody started to come. We went back out there and wiped the seats off, and then they started playing. So now this takes us to 2 hours in. So I'm like, I gotta go.
I'm at the restaurant with Nikki and Kai. So we just sitting there, 10 o'clock go by, 10:30 go by, 11 o'clock. So she texted me and was like, well, you know, she just leaving.
Like, I'm on my way to home, and he's like, why aren't you at the place, at the restaurant? I'm like, excuse me, my niece wanna spend time with me and I'm gonna spend time with her.
So now she had to go all the way home from the concert, freshen up, then come all the way back where we were.
So I got home, had to race home. I changed my shirt. I changed my clothes, and we were supposed to go out. And I'm racing down the expressway to get to the restaurant.
So I don't think she showed up to maybe 11:30. It's almost 12 o'clock.
He's pissed at me, and when he's mad, I just leave it alone. I just leave him alone when he's upset.
I guess she could see it in my face. She thought he was a little bit heated, so she kind of stayed away from me.
So you got my friends. You got Nikki and Kai there, and AJ sitting there at the restaurant. I'm like, "Hi guys," and they're like, "Hey," and I look at him. I'm like, I ain't gonna say nothing because he was so mad.
So then we leave there because that wasn't going to be the place to do it because it was leveling off. Everybody was leaving. I think it was like maybe 5 people left by the time she showed up. So went to this other restaurant Nikki and Kai took us to. It was probably on rooftop. So we got all the way up there, and because it was a slow night and nobody was there either, they was closed. So now it's like, we ain't got nowhere to go. So then they bring up this other spot we go to. I don't know, Blue Martini or Blue Martin or something like that. So we walk around there, and we're at that restaurant. We're sitting down there playing music, we're kicking it, and then she kept trying to sit on this side. So I got the ring on this side, so I'm trying to keep her on this side, but she wants to get all up. So kind of push over there trying to hide this.
We're talking, and he says, "Hey, I have to go to the bathroom." So I show him where the bathroom is. So he gets up and he goes to the bathroom, but he goes in a whole nother direction.
So I get up, go up to the waitress and get the waitress to let me talk to the DJ. So I told the DJ to play this song that we like, and she would know that when they played that song, she would know that it was something was up.
And I see him talking to the DJ, but I didn't think anything of it. And then we sit down, and then they have music there. It's like a little dance floor and bars. It's a really cool place. And then this song, The Weeknd, comes on called Wicked Games. And so I tell my girlfriend Nikki, I say, "Hey Nikki," I said, "this is AJ's song." So I tell him, I said, "Isn't this your song?" He's like, "Yeah, that's my jam." So I'm like, "Okay." So then he's all he's like, "Come on, let's get up and dance." Mind you, there's nobody dancing on the dance floor.
The DJ played the song. I pulled up the dance with me, and I don't really dance.
And next thing I know, he's like pulling me out on the dance floor. I'm like, "What are you doing? What are you doing?" Because this is unlike him. I'm like, "Oh, okay, so you go to Philly and you become a different person in Philly." I'm like, he doesn't do stuff like that,
So while we're dancing, I think I get down on one knee.
Then I see him get on the floor, like going down to the floor. I thought he's trying to break me down. And I'm like, no. I'm like, no, don't do that. I'm like, "What are you doing? What are you doing?" But then I realized he's on his knees, but it's still not clicking. Then he goes in his pocket and he pulls out the box and it's a diamond ring and I'm just still like, I'm still confused with what's going on here.
You gotta understand, my baby. You gotta understand, Vita don't always pick up right then. Sometimes it take a minute for her. And bless her heart, but I get down on one knee and she's just thinking I'm dancing still. So I swear to you, she's about to get down on one knee too. I don't know if she thought that was a new dance or a new move, and I'm almost pushing her to stay up. I'm like, "You can't get down here. I'm supposed to get down here. So you stay up here." So I'm holding her hand up to keep her from coming down.
Then he's like, "Will you marry me?" And I'm like, I blacked out a little bit.
I was down there for about a couple minutes before she realized that. So then I pulled the ring out my pocket. Her ass still dancing. You understand? It ain't registering. She's still dancing, and I'm trying to propose. So then I grab her hand and I'm like, had a ring still in the box. I'm like, "Will you marry me?" But it's loud in there. So I guess once she realized it was a ring, then she finally stopped dancing, stopped moving. She's sitting there and cup her mouth and all that stuff. And then I open the box, and she see the box, and then she's stopped breathing for a second, and immediately, you know, she grabbed her face and started crying and grabbed me. And she didn't say yes for a minute. She was saying everything else. Oh my God, I can't believe this. You know, did you see the Laker game last night? Like she talking about everything but yes. So I'm still down there on one knee.
And I was like, oh yes, yes, yes. So everybody was like excited about it. I'm like, oh my gosh, and I was crying and stuff. I was so excited. Then I found out that everybody knew. Everybody knew he was proposing to me. I'm telling everybody. Everybody's like, yeah, we know. I'm like, how do you know?
People in the restaurant, they was clapping and taking pictures. They didn't know us. They're taking pictures and videos and everything. You know, everybody was supportive of this union of two people that they didn't know, but everybody was supportive. You know, they was all our new friends. And so we danced and they gave us a couple drinks, man. It was all good. So that was it. That was the proposal. I, Alginus.
I, Vita.
Take you, Vita.
Take you, Alginus.
To be my wedded wife.
To be my wedded husband.
To have you.
To hold.
From this day forth.
For better or for worse.
For richer and poorer.
In sickness and in health.
I will love you.
Cherish you.
Forever. To God's holy ordinance.
I give unto you.
I give unto you.
My pledge.
For as much as Alginus and Vita have consented together into holy matrimony, to have their pledge audible for each of you to hear, with the receiving of rings and joining of hands, by the power invested in me, in the state of Georgia, I now pronounce you both husband and wife. You may now kiss your bride.
Is you drunk? Is you had enough? Are you here looking for love? Ooh, got the club going crazy. All these but my eyes on you. Is you somebody, baby? If you ain't, girl, what we gon' do? If you ain't gon' need it, baby. Give it all up for you right now. We got the club going crazy. All eyes on you. She was the baddest, I was the realest. We was the flyest, up in the building. We was counting this money, loving the feeling. Look at you now, in love with a hitter. But now it's all eyes on me, and it all lies on me. To say something to your pretty ass. Some hood, what you looking at, 'cause I'm good for that. Breaking bags, I'm good for that. Might just be your blood for that. You might fall in love with that, got love for that. What's your name, who you with, where you from, you the shit. Choose and pick, get the right one. All these chicks got the like one. All these hits got the like one. All these models got the lights up. All these models got the right one. What you gonna do? How to work? Whoa! You ready?
Yeah, they say love stories can never be told the same way twice. And for Vita and AJ, that's what makes it so special.
Got the club going crazy. All these but my eyes on you. Is you somebody?